Hi everyone, my name's Heather and I'm here today with my friend Rosie, and we're here to talk to you a little bit about cancer.
What's cancer?
Oh, well, that's a really good question. Alright, well, let's start at the very beginning.
That's a very good place to start.
That's true.
At least that's what they say.
Okay, alright. Well, we've probably all heard about cancer before, right? I mean, it's a very serious disease.
Yeah, I've heard of breast cancer.
Yeah, so actually there are hundreds of different kinds of cancers, and cancer can affect just about any part of the body.
Any part of the body?
Yeah, any part of the body.
Wow. What about lungs?
Mm-hmm.
And the brain?
Mm-hmm.
Stomach?
Yep.
Liver?
Yep.
Even the skin?
Yes.
What about your tongue or your eyeballs?
Yes. Cancer can actually affect all of those different parts of the body.
Wow. Well, what do they have in common?
Well, cancer is a disease of uncontrolled cell growth.
Uncontrolled cell growth.
Right. Uncontrolled cell growth.
Huh. What does that mean?
Well, do you know what a cell is?
Yeah, it's like when you go to jail and they're like, you're gonna stay in here forever and
No, not that kind of cell. A cell like in the body. Do you know what a cell in the body is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, a cell in the body is actually the smallest part of the body. So every single part of you is made up of cells. So your skin is made up of skin cells, and your brain is made up of
Brain cells.
right, and your muscles are made up of
Muscle cells.
right, and your eyes are made up of
Eyeball cells.
right. And so every single part of you is made up of very special different cells. And so what happens when you want to grow? Oh, well, so if you want to grow, then you need to make more cells. And so what happens then is that the cells divide. And so they divide in half, and so that they can make more of each other. And so that's how we grow bigger. That's how our bones get longer and our muscles grow bigger, and that's how we get taller. And it's also what happens if we get hurt or injured and we need to heal ourselves. So our cells divide and we can make more of them.
Oh, okay.
Right, and so if you have one healthy cell and then it divides in two, how many do you have?
2.
Right, we have 2 healthy cells. And then if they both divide again, how many do you have?
4.
Right, we have 4 healthy cells. And then if they divide again, how many do we have?
8.
Right, and then we have 8. And then if they divide, we get 16, and then 32, and then 64, and then 128. And so eventually we have a whole lot of healthy cells, and so we can grow bigger and stronger. Now, what do you think happens if we have an unhealthy cell? Do you think that should also divide?
Yes. No. I don't know.
Okay, well, let's think about it. So if we have one unhealthy cell and it divides in half, then how many cells do we have?
2 unhealthy cells.
Right, we have 2 unhealthy cells. And so if both of those divide in half, how many do we have?
4 unhealthy cells.
Right, we have 4 unhealthy cells. And then if they all divide in half, how many do we have?
8 unhealthy cells.
Right, and then if they divide?
16.
Right, and if they divide?
32.
Right, and so eventually we have a lot of unhealthy cells. Now, do we want that? No, we don't want that. We don't want a big pile of unhealthy cells, right?
Okay, so what does that have to do with cancer?
Okay, right. So what does that have to do with cancer? Well, with cancer cells, we can kind of think of cancer as an unhealthy cell. So if you have an unhealthy cancer cell, should it be allowed to divide?
No.
No, it should not be allowed to divide. But what happens with cancer cells is that actually they do divide. So we start off with an unhealthy cell, and then it divides, and we have
2.
right, and then that divides, and we have
4.
right, and then that divides, and we have
8.
and then that divides, and we get
16.
right, and so eventually we have a really large pile of unhealthy cells, and that's what we call a tumor.
A tumor.
Right, a tumor. So a tumor is like a big pile of unhealthy cells. And so that's how cancer is a disease of uncontrolled cell growth.
Uncontrolled cell growth.
Right, because the cells keep dividing. Nothing controls them, and they keep dividing again and again. And so because they keep dividing, then they also keep growing.
Uncontrolled cell growth.
Right, uncontrolled cell growth.
So who can get cancer?
Well, anyone can get cancer. So grown-ups can get cancer, and kids can get cancer,
Oh.
and lots of different people can get cancer.
How do you get it?
Well, that's a good question. So remember how we said that cancer cells are kind of like unhealthy cells? So anything that can damage the cells and make them unhealthy is what can cause cancer.
Like what?
Okay, so if you were in the sun a lot and you didn't protect your skin, then that's one way that you could get
skin cancer.
Right, you could get skin cancer. And if you smoke, then the smoke and the things in the cigarette can actually damage your lungs, and that's one way that you can get
lung cancer.
Right, that's one way that you can get lung cancer. And so there are different ways of damaging the cells in your body that can cause cancer.
Oh, so that's why we wear sunscreen and hats in the sun.
Right, exactly. That's why we wear sunscreen and hats in the sun, and that's why it's a good idea not to smoke, because those things can cause cancer if we do them for a really, really long time.
So, is there a cure?
Well, there are different treatments for cancer, and so some treatments may be something like chemotherapy.
Chemotherapy.
Right, chemotherapy is kind of like medicine, and what chemotherapy does is it kills all of the cancer cells.
Oh, that's good.
Right, or radiation is another one, and radiation is another way that we can kill the cancer cells. Or surgery is another one, and surgery is something where you actually go in and you remove all of the unhealthy cancer cells.
Oh, so is there a cure?
Well, so those are treatments, and if the treatments work and the cancer never comes back, then we can say that the cancer is cured.
Oh, hooray!
Right, so that's a good thing, right? Okay, so let's recap. So cancer is
a disease of uncontrolled cell growth.
Right, cancer is a disease of uncontrolled cell growth, and who can get cancer?
Anyone.
Right, anyone can get cancer. Kids, grown-ups, and anywhere in between. And is there a cure for cancer?
There are treatments.
Right, there are treatments like chemotherapy and radiation and surgery. And if you take the treatment and the cancer never comes back again, then we can say that
we're cured.
Yes, we can say that we're cured. So that's all I really wanted to talk about today. So I hope that that helped you understand cancer a little bit, Rosie, and I hope that that helped you understand cancer a little bit. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.